Wow. That's a powerful way to start, isn't it? I mean, that one sentence just cuts right to the core of a pain that, let's be honest, so many of us have felt but maybe couldn't put into words.
Hello to all viewers of my channel. I am so glad you're here with me today because we are about to dive into some really profound work. Today, we're going to be exploring the incredible insights of Brianna Wiest. We'll be using her book as our guide, kind of like a roadmap for this journey of transformation. Finding our way back to us. So let's just jump right in with the first and maybe the toughest truth of all.
All right, first up, we've got to tackle a massive misconception. You know how we live in this world that promises a quick fix for everything? Well, Brianna Wiest comes along and tells us, nope, when it comes to our inner world, there's no magic pill.
And I bet you know this feeling. It's that dull ache in your chest, right? Like something's just off, but you can't put your finger on what it is. It's this low-grade hum of anxiety that just kind of follows you around. And you try to talk yourself out of it, right? My job is fine, my life looks good on paper, but the feeling just sticks around. Well, Wiest has a totally different take. That feeling isn't a sign that something is wrong now. It's a sign that something from your past is finally knocking on the door, asking for your attention.
So what does that mean? It means real healing isn't like putting a Band-Aid on a single cut. It's more like a process of waking up. Yeah, waking up from those limiting stories we've been telling ourselves for years. Waking up from the roles we think we're supposed to play, and getting off that autopilot mode we all fall into. It's about consciously picking up the pen and deciding to write a new story, one that actually feels true to the person you're becoming.
And this idea, it completely redefines the whole goal of healing, doesn't it? The point isn't to become some flawless, happy-all-the-time robot. No way. The healed self still gets sad, still feels grief, still gets scared. The huge difference is those emotions don't run the show anymore. You learn how to sit with them, maybe even learn from them, but you're not completely consumed by them. It's all about building resilience, not some kind of immunity to life.
Okay, so if it's not some overnight thing, then what does this journey of healing actually look like? Well, a lot of the time it kicks off with figuring out where our pain is really coming from. And listen, this next part is a total game changer. We spend so much time and energy worrying about what might happen in the future, right? But Wiest completely flips that. She says that nagging anxiety, it's not about the future at all. It's unprocessed emotion from stuff that's already happened. It's like your past is sending you these little signals, these little messages, basically begging to be heard, to be dealt with so you can finally be free.
And while this process is super personal for everyone, it turns out it often follows a pretty recognizable pattern. First, something happens, a disrupting event that just shatters your sense of security. Then comes the really hard part. You have to confront the fact that maybe what you lost wasn't actually working for you anyway. Oof. But that's what opens the door to some real emotional reflection. Finally facing those feelings you've buried deep down. And it's only from that raw, honest place that a new way forward starts to appear. It all starts with one small step, which then turns into a huge leap.
Now, all this internal work is absolutely crucial. It's the foundation. But it has to go hand in hand with taking action in the real world. And one of the biggest, most important actions you can take, it's taking a hard look at who gets access to you and your energy.
Think about it. We talk all the time about managing our time, but what about managing our energy? Because your energy, your focus, your emotions, where you put your care, that is the real currency of your life. It's precious. Whatever you pour your energy into is what's going to grow. So the real question is, are you investing it in people and things that build you up, or are you letting it get drained by things that just pull you down?
And this brings us to a really key distinction: attachment versus true love. This is so important. Attachment, that's when you feel like you're the only one holding the relationship together. It's all about clinging to something familiar, even if it hurts, because you're scared of losing it. But true love, well, that's a connection that just feels like peace. It's being with people who meet you at your level, who are actually excited to grow with you. One feels like a constant struggle. The other feels like coming home.
I love this metaphor. Make your life a safe harbor. Just picture that for a second. A safe harbor. It's a place where you can rest, feel safe, and recharge. And you're the gatekeeper. You get to decide who docks there. This isn't about being mean or cutting everyone off. It's about recognizing you have a responsibility to protect your own peace and to surround yourself with people who respect and honor that.
Okay, so this all sounds great in theory, right? But how do we actually start? What do we do?
Well, that's what this next part is all about. We're talking small, practical things you can literally start doing today.
So Brianna Wiest gives us dozens of these things she calls micro-healing tools. And the key word here is micro. We're not talking about massive, overwhelming changes. We're talking about small, daily acts of just paying attention to yourself and taking care of yourself. Things like what you see here. Each one on its own seems so simple, maybe even too simple. But trust me, it's these tiny actions done over and over that build momentum and lead to really profound change down the line.
All right, and for our last section, let's talk about the destination. Where are we even going with all this? What's the ultimate feeling we're working toward? I'll give you a hint. It's not some state of constant, nonstop happiness. It's something much, much deeper.
Just let this one sink in for a minute. We're all taught to chase those intense, heart-pounding, dramatic feelings, the whirlwind romance, the crazy excitement. But Wiest argues that the things that are truly right for you, they won't feel like a storm. They'll feel like a deep, calming exhale, like, ah, there it is.
I mean, that is the ultimate reframe, right? The goal isn't to be swept off our feet and escape our lives through some intense drama. The real goal is to be grounded, to find the people, the work, the life that makes you feel solid, present, and more here in your own skin. That feeling of being grounded, that's the true prize. It's the foundation you can build a really beautiful life on.
And really, that's what all of this comes down to, isn't it? The only story that's ever going to matter is the one you tell yourself about yourself. You're the narrator. You're the one holding the pen. So after everything we've talked about today, the real question is, what story are you going to start writing today?
Thanks so much for joining me on this deep dive. If any of this resonated with you, please subscribe to the channel and like, and hey, suggest your topics for future videos in the comments. I'd love to see what you're interested in.